Once the place a young Scott Joplin attended, the Orr School has fallen into disrepair. But a new oral history project is working to ensure that the building's history stands strong for years to come. The story of the Orr School's role as a cornerstone of the community goes back to the 1880s.
It was one of the first free public schools in Texarkana. In the 19th century, well into the 1880s, you paid to go to school. There were no free public schools. We kind of take that for granted today. So not only was it one of the first public schools, period, it was specifically for the African American community. And it's located on Laurel Street, which is right in the middle of a historically black neighborhood that at that time was the center of commerce.
It also serves as a physical link to one particular student of the Orr School.
This is, as far as we can tell, probably one of the only structures left that has to do with Scott Joplin's time in Texarkana.
Around the time of integration, it transitioned to new purposes, including a community center and a daycare, but it has sat unoccupied for years at this point.
The dream for this is to first save it from being demolished. So it's going to need a new roof, it's going to need new doors, it's going to need, new paint job. We're hoping that the foundation is still pretty stable.
One of the methods the newly reformed City Federation Club is using to ensure the building and its history are still around for future generations is an oral history project funded through a grant from the New York-based nonprofit A Blade of Grass.
If you think of history as a quilt is made up of a lot of little pieces, and in the quilt of history, those are stories. Personal stories, personal recollections.
They are asking any members of the community with personal experiences or even stories heard from family members or memorabilia to come forward.
In our very first meeting, we were lucky enough to have some people who actually attended the Orr School. And the stories that they tell are just fascinating, but you've got to get those stories while you can still get those stories.
And the City Federation Club is also working to secure enough funding to preserve the building as well as its stories. And with enough support, the eventual goal is to restore the building into a community center. Reporting live in Texarkana, Hunter Trombetta, NBC6 News.